Geography defines the Alaska EPSCoR research project, which consists of test cases in northern, south central, and southeast Alaska. But the project's research themes cut across the state's vast terrain.
We look together at the same factors in all three of these very different test cases and different ecosystems and different cultures, and do comparative work to understand fundamentally how people perceive the environmental change that's occurring.
In October 2014, EPSCoR researchers gathered in Anchorage for the organization's annual meeting. Instead of meeting within test cases, scientists split into groups along research themes. The purpose of the meetings was to discuss the information being collected in each test case and how these data relate to each other.
The three major breakouts were hydrological change, landscape change, and communities. We looked at the data that was coming out of each of the three test cases now and making sure the data was in similar formats, that the data was looking at similar time frames.
Alaska EPSCoR plans to compare data across test cases to understand which adaptation elements are unique to specific areas and which tend to be more universal. With that in mind, groups discussed how best to gather parallel and comparable data through instruments and social surveys.
We're primarily instrumented in our sites, and that data is flowing in. Initial community surveys have been done and community inputs received from the test cases, so now the data starts flowing, and now we're looking at what those data streams are telling us.
Myers said he has received positive feedback about the unusual structure and expects it to be used again in the future.
Where genius occurs is often not in the structured situation. It's in a situation where people have the chance to dialogue and ask those questions in a different way or see someone else's perspective.